Hey there, deep divers. Ready to dive deep into human potential and achievement today?
Always ready.
This was going to be super relevant for all you life coaches, trainers, healers, even students gearing up for those big exams. We're cracking open Anthony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within.
Oh, a classic.
It's jam-packed with strategies to help you seize control of your mental, emotional, physical, even financial destiny.
You name it, it's in there.
So much to unpack here. I'm excited to dive in with you.
Let's do it.
One of the things that really jumps out from the start is how much Robbins emphasizes decision-making.
Yeah, he argues that making a real decision, it's more than just knowing what to do.
Right. It's about actually taking action.
Exactly. He uses this great example about the changes in Eastern Europe to illustrate that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. He talks about how those massive shifts, those economic and political shifts, stemmed from people making new decisions.
Right. New decisions about their values and what they stood for.
Powerful stuff. And it really highlights how much our decisions can impact not just our own lives, but the world around us, too.
Absolutely. It's a ripple effect.
Okay, so now let's get into something that I think is especially relevant for those of you working in personal development and coaching.
Okay, shoot.
Robbins goes deep into this concept of linking pain and pleasure to shape our actions.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. We see this all the time in advertising.
Oh, totally.
But he suggests we can use that same principle for personal growth.
Instead of being manipulated by it, we can kind of hack it for our own benefit.
Exactly. And he actually used this principle in his own life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He shares how he linked pleasure to the act of learning, realizing that gaining these insights into human behavior and emotion, that could help him overcome challenges and create a more fulfilling life.
So instead of viewing learning as a chore, he found a way to make it enjoyable and rewarding.
Precisely. And he even gives this really intriguing example about how some cultures link pleasure to death and pain to grieving.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So as a result, grief isn't this major part of their experience.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a powerful example of how our beliefs, shaped by these associations we have with pain and pleasure, they can really dramatically influence our emotional responses.
And for life coaches especially, I mean, that's got to be huge, right?
Oh, absolutely. By understanding how these associations operate, you can help clients reframe their experiences and reshape their emotional responses to challenges.
It's like rewiring their internal circuitry.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of beliefs, Robbins dedicates a whole section to exploring their power.
Oh, yeah.
He argues that our beliefs can literally create or destroy.
He does. And what's so important here is understanding that beliefs, they're built upon references.
Okay, what do you mean by references?
Well, it's our experiences, information from others, even our imagination.
Oh, okay.
And the more emotional intensity and the more references we have for a belief, the stronger it becomes.
He even mentioned studies where people's eye color actually changed as their personalities changed.
It's pretty mind-blowing, right?
It really is. It makes you realize just how deeply our beliefs can impact us, even on a physical level.
For sure. And for life coaches, this just underscores the importance of helping clients identify and challenge those limiting beliefs, the ones that are holding them back.
It's about helping them rewrite their inner narratives.
Absolutely.
Now, shifting gears a bit, Robbins then talks about the importance of questions.
Oh, yeah, the questions we ask ourselves.
He emphasizes the power of asking empowering questions to shift our focus and our feelings.
What's so intriguing here is this idea that questions can actually shape our beliefs.
Oh, interesting.
By choosing to ask empowering questions, we challenge those limiting beliefs and replace them with more empowering ones.
It's like planting seeds of change.
Exactly. And he gives this really inspiring example of his friend, W. Mitchell.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, this guy who suffered severe burns in a plane crash. But despite all that, he maintains this incredibly positive outlook by consistently asking himself empowering questions.
Wow, that's resilient.
It's a testament to the power we have to shape our own reality.
Yeah.
Even in the face of adversity.
For sure. By focusing on solutions and possibilities, we can overcome these incredible challenges. And that's such a powerful tool that life coaches can share with their clients.
Oh, absolutely. It helps them reframe their perspectives and regain control of their emotional states.
Okay, so speaking of tools, Robbins introduces this really practical technique called neuroassociative conditioning, or NAC.
NAC, yeah.
Essentially, it's a step-by-step process for breaking those limiting patterns and replacing them with empowering new ones.
A mental makeover.
Exactly. And he emphasizes the importance of not just stopping a negative pattern, but actively replacing it with a fulfilling, positive alternative.
Right. It's not enough to just tear down the old structure. You have to build something new in its place.
And this is where he brings in the concept of values, right?
Right. Values, yeah. He explains how understanding our values can help us unlock the secrets of our motivations.
So both are moving toward values the things we desire and are moving away from values the things we want to avoid.
Exactly. And he encourages us to get really clear about our values by actually writing down our values hierarchy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and identifying the rules we have for each value. He even shares a personal example of how he transformed his own life by shifting his values hierarchy, putting happiness at the very top.
And what happened?
Well, he says it led to more intimacy and love in his life.
Wow. So powerful how he directly links our values to our actions and the results we create in our lives.
Absolutely. It's a crucial aspect of self-awareness that helps us live more intentionally and create the life we truly desire. And for life coaches, this is pure gold. Helping clients uncover their values and align their actions accordingly can be so transformative.
Like giving them a compass.
Yeah, to navigate the journey of their lives.
Now, we can't talk about Robbins without addressing his views on mastering time.
Time management, yep.
He connects stress to that feeling of not having enough time and suggests that time itself is a mental construct influenced by our focus.
He does. He encourages us to become more aware of the time frames we're operating in, past, present, future, and how those impact our emotional states.
So if we're constantly dwelling on the past, we might feel regretful or sad.
Right. Or if we're always worrying about the future, we might feel anxious or overwhelmed.
And he also challenges that common belief that our problems are permanent.
Yeah, instead he advocates for focusing on small, consistent actions that create positive change over time.
It's about shifting from that feeling of overwhelm and scarcity to a mindset of empowerment and possibility.
Exactly.
And recognizing that we have more control over our experience of time than we realize.
Absolutely. And this is another area where life coaches can make a huge impact, helping clients understand how their perception of time is influencing their emotions and behaviors, empowering them to create a more balanced and fulfilling relationship with time.
So Robbins wraps up this first part of the book with a really powerful call to action, urging readers to become heroes in their own lives.
Yeah, and to contribute to making the world a better place.
He emphasizes the importance of finding meaning in both our positive and negative experiences.
Right, and embracing balance rather than striving for this elusive perfection.
So much to unpack here already. What's standing out to you so far?
Well, one of the most powerful takeaways for me is this realization that we all have the power to make decisions that shape our reality. Just like those people in Eastern Europe, our choices have the potential to create ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves.
I love that. It's about recognizing that we're not passive passengers on this journey of life. We're the captains of our ships. Mm-hmm. And speaking of journeys, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the incredible journey that is self-discovery. I want to introduce you to someone who is truly making a difference in this realm, a remarkable coach named Rahul Garg.
Rahul, yeah. He's a self-actualization coach based in India, and he's doing some incredible work helping people awaken their full potential and create lives that are aligned with their deepest values and aspirations.
And that self-actualization coaching process, it's so powerful. It provides this supportive and structured environment for individuals to really delve into their inner world, identify what's holding them back, and make lasting changes.
It's a journey of empowerment and transformation. And Rahul is a master at guiding people through it. He uses this unique blend of techniques and insights to help his clients overcome limiting beliefs, develop empowering habits, and achieve their goals.
And you know what the best part is? Rahul is offering a free coaching session to all of our listeners.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You can experience the power of self-actualization coaching firsthand by booking a free session with Rahul. You can reach out to him via email or join his WhatsApp group. We'll include the links in the show notes below.
It's an incredible opportunity to take that first step on your journey toward unlocking your full potential and creating the life you've always dreamed of.
Now, we would love to hear from you, our amazing listeners. What resonated with you most from this first part of our deep dive? Have you had any experiences with these concepts of linking pain and pleasure, asking empowering questions, or uncovering your values? Share your thoughts, your insights, your questions in the comments below. We're always excited to learn from your experiences.
And remember, this is just the beginning of our exploration of Awaken the Giant Within. We'll be back with part 2, where we'll delve even deeper into Robbins' insights and strategies.
Until then, keep those light bulbs of knowledge burning bright.
Yeah, next time. All right, deep divers, welcome back.
Ready for more? Awaken the Giant Within.
Let's get back into it. So in this part, I'm really interested in exploring some of the practical tools and techniques Robbins offers, for turning understanding into action.
Oh, yeah, that's where the rubber meets the road, right.
Exactly. And Robbins, he really emphasizes taking action.
Yeah, he's all about walking the walk, not just
Yeah.
talking the talk. It's not enough to just have positive thoughts. You got to actually take concrete steps to create those results in your life.
Absolutely. He believes that knowledge is only powerful when you apply it. And that's where this whole toolbox of techniques comes in.
So let's open up that toolbox. Where do we start?
Well, let's begin with one of Robbins' core principles, the power of state.
State, okay.
Yeah, he emphasizes how our emotional state, our mood, our energy levels, those things dramatically impact our actions and results.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's so crucial for coaches, trainers, healers.
Yeah.
We often work with clients who are stuck in these negative emotional states.
Oh, for sure. Feeling overwhelmed, anxious, discouraged, those feelings can really become roadblocks,
Absolutely.
preventing them from taking action or making progress.
So how do we shift our state? What does Robbins suggest?
Well, he highlights the power of physiology.
Physiology.
Yeah, like our posture, our breathing, even our facial expressions can influence our emotions.
So if I want to feel more confident, I should stand up straight, take a deep breath, and smile.
It might sound simple, but it can be surprisingly effective. Our physiology sends signals to our brains, and those signals can either reinforce a negative state or shift us into a more positive one.
Oh, wow. So we're not just at the mercy of our feelings. We can actually do things to change how we feel.
Exactly. And another powerful tool is our focus. Robbins emphasizes that whatever we focus on expands.
Oh, I've heard that before.
If we're constantly dwelling on problems, guess what? We're going to see more problems.
Ah.
But if we shift our focus to solutions, we start noticing more possibilities and opportunities.
This reminds me of the work we do with clients around limiting beliefs.
Oh, yeah.
If someone believes they're not good enough, they're going to constantly look for evidence to confirm that belief.
Right.
But if we can help them shift their focus to their strengths and their potential, they start to see themselves in a whole new light.
It's like rewriting the story you're telling yourself. And Robbins actually uses this brilliant analogy. He says, our brains are like computers, and the questions we ask are the input.
Okay.
The answers we get are the output.
So if we're feeding our brains with these disempowering questions like, why am I such a failure? Or why can't I ever get ahead? We're basically programming ourselves for negativity.
Exactly. But if we consciously choose to ask empowering questions like, what am I good at? Or what steps can I take to achieve my goals? We're switching our brains into solution mode.
It's like installing new software.
Precisely.
So we've talked about physiology and focus. What other techniques does Robbins offer for changing our state?
Well, he also emphasizes the power of language,
Oh, interesting.
suggesting that the words we use to describe our experiences can actually shape our perceptions of feelings.
So instead of saying, I'm overwhelmed, I could say, I'm challenged. And that could actually change how I feel.
It might. Robbins encourages us to be more mindful of our vocabulary and to consciously choose words that empower us rather than disempower us.
That makes a lot of sense. And, it really resonates with the work of Carol Dweck and her research on growth mindset.
Oh.
The language we use to talk about our abilities can either create a sense of limitation or cultivate a belief in our potential for growth.
It's all interconnected. The language we use, the questions we ask, how we use our bodies, it all contributes to our overall state, and that influences our actions and results.
This is gold for our listeners who work in personal development. We can use these insights to help our clients understand how their state is affecting their lives, and then give them practical tools for creating positive change.
For sure. And Robbins actually goes even deeper. He explores the power of metaphors.
Metaphors, okay.
He suggests that metaphors are these powerful tools for shaping our beliefs and behaviors.
That's interesting. I'm not sure I totally get that.
Well, think of metaphors as comparisons that help us understand something new by relating it to something familiar.
Okay.
So, for example, when someone says life is a journey, they're using a metaphor to suggest that life is this process of growth and discovery.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Or if you're feeling stuck in life, you might say, I feel like I'm hitting a wall.
Right.
That metaphor conveys a sense of being blocked or trapped.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
And Robbins argues that the metaphors we use can either empower us or disempower us. He encourages us to become aware of the metaphors we're using and consciously choose metaphors that support our goals and values.
So instead of saying I'm hitting a wall,
Yeah.
I could say I'm facing a challenge that I'm determined to overcome.
Exactly. That metaphor shifts the focus from feeling stuck to feeling empowered and resilient.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
And it can be incredibly effective in coaching. Robbins shares this great example of how he used this technique with a client who was feeling overwhelmed and stuck. The client's metaphor was, "I feel like I'm drowning."
Oh, wow.
And Robbins simply asked, "If you weren't drowning, what would you be doing?"
I love that.
And the client responded, "I'd be swimming."
Oh, wow. Just that shift in language can make such a difference.
It can. It's all about shifting your perspective. And Robbins reminds us that we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. Our beliefs, our values, our experiences, they act as filters shaping our perception of reality.
And as coaches, we can help clients understand how their filters are shaping their experience and then empower them to create more fulfilling lives.
Exactly. And Robbins actually offers a number of other techniques for challenging those limiting beliefs and creating new, empowering ones.
Like what?
Well, he emphasizes the importance of finding role models. You know, people who are already achieving the results we want in our lives.
So if I want to be more confident, I could look for people who embody confidence and learn from their behaviors and their mindset.
Precisely. Robbins suggests we can model the beliefs, values, and actions of successful people to create our own success.
That makes sense, but it's not enough to just find role models, right?
Right. We also need to take action, and this is where so many people get stuck. They have great ideas, but they struggle to follow through.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
Robbins suggests we need to develop what he calls a bias for action.
A bias for action. Okay.
Yeah. It's about training ourselves to take action, even when we don't feel like it or we're afraid. He encourages us to set clear goals, break them down into smaller steps, and then consistently take action on those steps.
That reminds me of the concept of chunking that we use in coaching.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking down those large goals into smaller, more manageable chunks makes the journey feel less daunting.
Exactly. And Robbins also emphasizes the importance of celebrating our successes along the way. You know, acknowledging our progress, rewarding ourselves for our efforts, helps build momentum and keeps us motivated.
It's so easy to get caught up in what we haven't accomplished yet.
It is, but celebrating those wins, even the small ones, helps us stay positive and focused on the journey.
So what about when we inevitably face setbacks?
Ah, yes, failure.
Robbins has some interesting things to say about that, right?
He does. He emphasizes the importance of learning from our failures. He actually reframes failure as a part of the success process, not the opposite of it.
I love that. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about learning from it.
Precisely. He encourages us to ask, what can I learn from this experience? Every failure holds a valuable lesson that can propel us forward.
That's such an important message for anyone working towards their goals. Setbacks are going to happen, but they don't have to define us.
Right. We can choose to learn from those experiences and keep moving forward.
And Robbins also reminds us about the importance of perseverance.
Oh, yeah. Never give up.
So many people give up too soon, not realizing that success might be just around the corner.
He encourages us to set those long-term goals and commit to the process even when things get tough.
And that's especially relevant for those of you working with clients who are facing challenges. Remind them that they have the inner strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle as long as they don't give up on themselves.
For sure. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about managing energy.
Energy, okay.
Robbins highlights that we all have a limited amount of energy and we need to use it wisely.
I think this is especially relevant for coaches and healers. We often give so much of ourselves to our clients that we need to be mindful of taking care of our own energy levels.
Absolutely. You got to put your own oxygen mask on first, right?
Exactly. So what does Robbins suggest?
He encourages us to find ways to recharge our batteries, exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones.
It's about making self-care a priority and finding what truly recharges and rejuvenates you.
Precisely. And finally, Robbins speaks to the importance of finding our passion.
Ah, passion.
He suggests that passion is the fuel that drives us to achieve our goals.
So if we're feeling uninspired or unfulfilled, we need to find something that lights us up.
Exactly. Explore your interests, try new things, discover what truly excites you. Robbins believes that when we're passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like play.
That's such a powerful message for anyone feeling stuck or unfulfilled.
It is. It's a reminder that they have the power to create a life that's aligned with their passions and purpose.
I love that. So Robbins ends this section with a really powerful call to action, right?
He does. He suggests that we all have this potential for greatness, but we need to make a conscious decision to step into that potential.
It's about taking ownership of our lives and creating the destinies we desire.
Exactly.
Welcome back, Deep Divers. As we wrap up our exploration of Awaken the Giant Within, let's zero in on a theme that kind of weaves its way through the whole book, taking control of your destiny.
It's a powerful concept, right? Especially for those of you working as life coaches, trainers, healers. You're all about helping people create the lives they want. And Robbins really offers a framework for doing just that.
He pushes back on this idea that we're just products of our environment or past experiences.
Right. He believes we have way more power than that. We can choose our thoughts, emotions, actions, and those choices shape our destinies.
It's not just fate or circumstance. We have agency.
Exactly. He uses this really striking analogy to illustrate this point. The Niagara Syndrome.
Okay, the Niagara Syndrome.
Imagine people in boats drifting down a river headed straight for a waterfall. They see the danger, but they feel totally powerless to change course.
Oh, that's not good. Just going with the flow, headed for disaster.
Exactly. But Robbins says we don't have to be like those helpless boaters. We can grab the oars, set our sights on a destination, and steer towards the life we want.
It's about being the captain of your own ship, not just a passenger.
That's the key. And one tool he gives us for this is understanding our master system.
Master system, what's that all about?
Think of it as the combo of our values, beliefs, rules, and references. It's the framework underneath everything that drives our emotional states and actions.
Okay, so it's like the operating system for our lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Robbins argues that if we can understand and consciously shape our master system, we gain more control and can create a more fulfilling life.
So it's like having the blueprint for your life and being able to make adjustments at the foundation level.
Precisely. And it all starts with awareness. Becoming aware of what our values, beliefs, and rules actually are.
Taking a look under the hood.
Right. And then asking ourselves honestly, are these serving me or holding me back?
It's like taking inventory of our internal programming and seeing what needs an upgrade.
Exactly. Robbins wants us to figure out what values do we really want to embody, what beliefs will support us, what rules do we want to live by?
And then make sure our actions match that vision.
Right. Aligning our actions with the new blueprint. And speaking of values, Robbins distinguishes between two types.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
He talks about moving toward values, which are things we want to experience, and then moving away from values, which are the things we want to avoid.
Okay, that makes sense. So, like, if one of my top values is freedom...
Then what are the rules you've set up around that value?
Right. Do my rules actually support my desire for freedom, or are they limiting it in some way?
That's the key question. And this is where self-reflection is so important. Robbins even shares a personal example. He changed his own values hierarchy, putting happiness at the top.
And what happened?
He says it led to more intimacy and love in his life, just by shifting that one value.
Wow. It's incredible how much our values shape our actions and experiences. And for life coaches, this has got to be a gold mine, right?
Oh, absolutely. Helping clients uncover their true values and make sure their actions are aligned can be incredibly transformative.
Like giving them a compass for their lives.
Exactly. Now, beyond values, Robbins also talks about examining the references we've collected throughout our lives.
You mean all the experiences, information, and influences that shaped our beliefs and perspectives?
Exactly. He challenges us to ask if those references are actually serving us or if they're holding us back.
So it's not just blindly accepting everything we've been told or experienced.
Right. If we realize some references are limiting us, Robbins encourages us to seek out new experiences, new information, new role models that support the life we want.
So it's like being proactive about the input we're feeding our minds.
Absolutely. Curating a mental diet of positive and empowering information. And then Robbins goes on to talk about identity, the story we tell ourselves about who we are.
Our self-concept, right?
He argues that our identity shapes everything else, our beliefs, values, actions.
It's like the foundation of our internal world.
Exactly. And if that foundation is shaky or outdated, it's time for a renovation.
Time to rewrite the story.
Robbins wants us to examine our current identity and honestly ask, is this truly me? Does it serve me? If not, he encourages us to create a new, more empowering story.
One that reflects who we want to be and what we're capable of. I can see how this would be so powerful for life coaching, too.
Oh, absolutely. Helping clients shed those old limiting identities and embrace a new, more expansive vision of themselves, it can be incredibly freeing.
And once we have that new identity, it's all about taking action, right?
Exactly. Robbins emphasizes consistent action towards our goals. He reminds us that momentum creates motivation. The more action we take, the more motivated we become.
It's like a snowball effect.
He wants us to set clear goals, break them down into manageable steps, and then act on those steps consistently. He calls it building a bias for action.
Training ourselves to just do it even when it's hard, even when we're afraid.
Precisely. And he reminds us to celebrate our successes along the way, too. Acknowledge our progress, reward ourselves for our efforts.
It's so important to recognize those wins, big and small.
It helps to keep that momentum going. And of course, there will be challenges and setbacks.
That's just part of the journey.
Robbins offers strategies for navigating those obstacles, managing our emotional state, asking those empowering questions, reframing our perspective. It's about building resilience.
Knowing we have the inner strength and the tools to face whatever comes our way.
Exactly. And finally, Robbins highlights the importance of contribution, using our gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world.
It's not just about self-improvement, it's about making a difference.
He believes it's essential for a truly fulfilling and meaningful life. And this message of contribution, I think it's especially powerful for life coaches, trainers, healers. You're already in the business of helping others.
You're making that positive impact every day.
It's a reminder that we can create a ripple effect of positive change in the world just by sharing our gifts and inspiring others.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Awaken the Giant Within, what are some key takeaways you hope our listeners will remember?
Well, first and foremost, they are not victims of circumstance. They have the power to choose.
To choose their thoughts, emotions, actions, and ultimately to shape their own destiny.
Exactly. And I hope they'll remember the power of understanding and shaping their master system.
Those values, beliefs, rules, references, the building blocks of their inner world.
It's the key to creating lasting change and living a life that's truly aligned with their dreams. And let's not forget that message of contribution. We all have something to offer the world.
So find your gifts, share them generously, and make a positive impact.
Absolutely. And for those of you ready to embark on that journey of self-discovery and empowerment, I want to remind you about the incredible opportunity to work with Rahul Garg.
He's a self-actualization coach based in India, and he's offering a free coaching session to all our listeners.
You can reach out to him via email or join his WhatsApp group. We'll put those links in the show notes.
It's a chance to experience the power of coaching firsthand and see how it can help you create the life you've always wanted.
So keep diving deep, keep exploring, and keep those light bulbs of knowledge burning bright.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.